freezing out here.
We could have done this at a desk.
Yeah.
Burnout reminds me how much fun it is just to mess around with cars and go driving and screw around. That's kind of what's great about the game, actually.
Wreck cars.
It's like it still feels entirely like Burnout.
I argue that the progression, I think because when you get set, when you first get the game, you're let loose in the entire Paradise City, which is huge. It's not just a city, it's like a city outlying areas, countryside.
Yeah.
And you have free access to everything, including 120 events from the get-go.
Yeah.
And there's no rules
You do
what you have to do.
Complaints about the game I want to get out of the way was like starting off I was kind of lost, you know, like you don't understand how the events are set up, you know, you don't understand how open it is. Well, so I'm just driving around like, how do I get started?
You kind of expect a tutorial.
Lead me through this.
Right, you expect a tutorial and it doesn't have one. Instead you get the DJ.
You get DJ Awesometivity.
As soon as you hear DJ Top Gun, like, oh, I want to turn him off.
I've been wondering what you folks use to find your way around Paradise City. Me? I only ever use the compass, but I know some guys who wouldn't be able to get to the end of the street without using their mini-map. You know, work out what's best for you and just stick with it.
But then, the stuff he tells you is actually useful, and that is the tutorial. Like, slowly through the course of the game, he gives you advice, he gives you helpful hints. If you lose an event, he'll give you like some, you know.
Yeah, it's a really good like sense of discovery.
Right, but I think the fact that you're not forced to do anything is brilliant, because a lot of people, in the same way in GTA, like, you just want to mess around, it's a sandbox, and, you know, it's a complete success because there's no consequences for crashing. So if you just want to drive around the city, exploring things, crashing into people, crashing into buildings, there's no consequences, there's no punishments.
You're always going to hit the gas and go. You're going to see, like, you know, the indicators for the shortcuts, you know, the yellow barriers, blast through them, hit some billboards up in the air.
Well, exactly.
It is gonna take you a long time to learn. It encourages a lot of like exploring and looking for shortcuts. Right. But there are instances where if you mess up, if you take one wrong turn, especially out like in the hills and the boonies, if you take one wrong turn, you're done.
Outside of the events, there's like a meta game for you to explore, and there's always a reason to like make you go back and just mess around.
And that's even better. Like, it's great single player, but it's even better when you have multiple people playing in the online server, because it just immediately picks up where you are in your single player game. All the things you've done are still there, and then you can set up these races and these challenges within a group, and it's the natural evolution of Burnout, I think.
Yeah, so. And what's cool about the online is that, like, kind of the open world nature of that, where like every street you're like, oh, I just got the fastest route on this street, or like I just had the longest drift. Now the other 3 guys in my room, or however many, try to beat that. You know, it's just like this constant ongoing thing in between races, because you can do races whenever you want.
And it keeps all the rivalries alive. So even like you come back later and someone takes you out, you remember, oh, like, you know, they revenged you, and yeah, I think online is going to be huge for this game. Now with Xbox through the Xbox Live Vision camera, or PS through any USB camera, you can take your picture and it's on your license, but also when you're racing against people online, if you take them out, it takes a picture of you, so you can like, or it takes a picture of them, or it goes both ways, right? You send each other your pictures.
I think the winner gets plastered on the top.
Yeah, the winner, everyone gets to see his picture. So, I mean, you can always like flip people off or just do whatever you want to do. I think when the online game opens up, you're going to see a lot of that and a lot of inappropriate stuff.
It's really cool. Criterion has always been really savvy with that sort of like fun online aspect.
Yeah, so. Another thing I liked was all the drive-throughs. You know, be it the gas to get boost, and then the auto repair to fix your car,
also,
and then there's also extent the paint jobs. But like, you have it built into the city, all different spots. When you discover them, they go on your map. And then like when you're driving, like, oh, here comes the auto repair, I'm gonna fix it, which is beautiful in events like Markman and Road Rage, which are my 2 favorites. Because Road Rage is the takedown, just get as many takedowns as possible.
I think we might all agree those 2 are really fun.
Yeah.
And that's one of the problems with online. You can't race those events online. Yet.
Right. But I love Markman. It's like the spiritual successor to Pursuit Mode, where it used to be cops chasing you, but now like you start on one point of the city, you like, it says, go here and just survive. Go any way you want, go anywhere you want, but it's like you have these guys in these black sedans,
And they're
like, armor-plated, like
so
whoa,
brutal.
The
wanna kill
AI
you.
is so aggressive. I mean, I would say the most aggressive AI in any racing game I've ever faced in my entire life.
Yeah, even more so than the previous Burnouts.
I do have another minor criticism. For me, the crash mode has been replaced by this new thing. It's called
Showtime.
Showtime, and it's fun. You just kind of go into this mode where you're like flipping up and down, trying to crash into things. It's almost like a rhythm game. It's fun, but it isn't quite as fun as old-fashioned.
I do miss the preset like puzzly type of crash modes, but Showtime can be a lot of fun, and it works I think for the open environment because you can just kind of you can create that stunt situation anywhere on the map. And it's fun in areas with lots of cars, especially on the highways and the toll booths, because the cars are going really fast and there's a lot of them. There's like buses for multipliers.
Right, but you know, every intersection has a target value though. And some of those intersections are really boring. You're like waiting for a truck to come by, maybe you'll crash into it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there isn't so much strategy where you just hope that something comes by that's worth a lot of points. And like, it seems almost random. Like, how would you know if there's gonna be a truck like a block away that you're eventually gonna flip yourself all the way down there? You have no way of knowing. So it seems like a lot of luck is involved, and I kind of miss the old one in that sense.
Just like the races, I believe, are the best races any Burnout has ever had.
How so?
The aggressiveness.
They feel a lot the same to me.
I feel like it's more aggressive. It's more open-ended. There's more. You know, when you get really good at the city, you can find those huge shortcuts that make it really easy.
Well, no. To me, it felt a lot like Crazy Taxi. How awesome a Crazy Taxi would be had they kept it going.
I can see that. There's a little bit of
there's
that
a vibe. There's a definite vibe.
Well, part of that is all the product placement.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's part of it.
I find the pervasive CompUSA product placement very funny and ironic now that they've closed the entire CompUSA chain, right?
That was on partner net.
You know what?
Might take that
Burnout
out.
Paradise is a good legacy for them. Like, if you're gonna go out, you might as well go out in one of the greatest racers, you know?
This is true.
It makes a lot of sense to do it that way.
But what about the graphics? I mean, you guys completely happy with the visuals?
Yeah, it was tough at first because Burnout's always looked really, really good. So the initial, when I saw you guys playing it for the first time before I started it, I was like, oh, it looks like a really nice Burnout. But then you just realize how big it is and how there's no loading except for the initial load.
Excellent load times, and the sense of speed is flawless.
Yeah.
Especially in first person, which is how I play. Like, I mean, it's among the fastest feeling games from the outset. Even like the standard car they give you feels really fast. And that's a problem with a lot of racers. You have to play for like 5 hours to get a car that feels fast.
And you still feel in control while you're going that fast.
There's always something to do, and just the variety. It's kind of like the Mario Galaxy of racing games.
Interesting.
It's like it is like the one more star, because you're getting these points on your license to try to get the next license, and many times it's like 2 in the morning. I'm like, okay, one more. Because it only takes like 5 minutes.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, and when you get to those the higher licenses, that's when you have to play pretty much everything because they have so many requirements. You can't skip all the races, or you can't skip all the road rages. It's kind of the way I wanted to see Burnout come to like this generation of consoles. Like, they really did what they had to. It's kind of like how Burnout 3 was, you know, when that came out. That just blew me away. And this one is like, it delivered everything I hoped for, and I didn't even know I wanted.
It's also really encouraging to finally see a game that's equally good across the two platforms. We've seen a lot of disparity on 360 and PS3, and this one, no matter which you buy it on, it's a solid experience, feature complete. I mean, it's no one's losing out here.
Agreed.